All right. Okay. Well, welcome back, everybody, to the Discuss It podcast. As you well know, I am Andrea, your humble and gracious host. And today I have another beautiful Black woman ready to just talk about some real shit. So take it away. Tell everybody about you.
Hi, you guys. My name is Tayo Togba, and I basically am I do a lot. But I'm gonna start with I'm a founder of a company called Selfish Selfcare. Me and my sisters. Well, I guess Selfish Selfcare is basically a company. Do I have to go to that? Well,
Whatever you
anyway,
want.
okay. I'm gonna throw those up.
Do all that. Do
Throw
all
the
that.
producers up. Okay,
Yeah.
so basically Selfish Self-Care is my company that I started. I also have an in-home health company that is we provide in-home care to people with chronic illness and disabilities. I am I guess I'm gonna end with that. You know, certified mindful coach, a
Okay.
lot of stuff. But
Okay.
yes.
Okay. So you're a certified mindful coach. So what else? What else is going on? Wait, am I muted? Can you hear?
I can hear you.
Because I can't see the little things at the bottom. So you're okay. Go
I,
ahead.
I can see it. Yeah. Yeah.
But what else? What other credentials do you have, or what credentials did you have to do the in-home care service?
And to do in-home care, it was actually it's a family-owned business. We owned it for over 20 years. So we
Okay, see, you ain't talking enough.
20 years of service. So
Okay.
yeah, so it's actually passed down generations.
Okay.
So me and my sisters are now running it. We are just making that work, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. And then
um,
the business that you founded yourself. Now you mentioned your mindfulness certification. What else are you
mhm.
certified in, and what do you do with your certifications?
Okay, I'm a certified mindful coach, and I actually became that so I can help with my business that I started. I started Selfish Self Care, which is a organization that helps people with chronic illness and
Mm,
disabilities, and so it kind of like heals them. Not heals them. I'm gonna say I just help empower them to take care of themselves. And so
mm-hmm.
I noticed when I was younger, I kind of built this level of mindfulness, and I've been doing it for years, but I never decided to actually get a certification in it or anything like that. So
Okay.
for me to actually do that, I basically I just knew that it was needed in order for
Mhm.
me to do that. I wrote a little. I created a journal that goes with it. So I created a mindful journal as well that kind of connects with
Mm.
um, everything that I'm doing as far as like self care, mindfulness. It's kind of all connected. So I kind of just um, getting flustered.
Don't be shy. You got a whole podcast. Don't get on here and start getting shy.
I
um,
do this regular, and I'm usually on the other
yeah,
side.
that's true. That's true. Well, okay, so I struggle a little bit, or I have been one to struggle with mindfulness a lot. And it's
Mhm.
because I'm one of those people that not so much now. I'm actually calmed down quite a bit, but just go, 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 right? So I'll be like tunnel vision zoned in I'm
Mhm.
up at 5, zoned in at work, 2 o'clock. I look up, I'm like, what's going on? Now I'm irritated. Now I haven't eaten all day, haven't even barely drank water, right? Like haven't gotten up, moved around, and what I have found for me in my journey with being mindful, being present, and being more, I guess mindful is just the word, right? But more present in the moment and really kind of finding ways to call myself back to the present has really been helpful with me for mindfulness. But I had to do it because I didn't feel good as a person. My
Mhm.
mental health was not where it used to be. I think it was also just the same story for a lot of us, right?
Mhm.
Coming through COVID and having stay in place, and whether you were sick or not, and then having to experience everything we saw, those traumas that we've already seen before, but we had
Mhm.
to experience it with everyone else. And so I had to make it a priority for me to do that. So for you, you said you've been doing it forever. I can't even imagine doing that forever. So like, how did that just come about for you?
My mother, I'm going to give her
Okay.
flowers because my mom is actually really into just holistic
Mm,
everything.
okay.
And basically, I grew up not always feeling well and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So she basically started with me with breathing meditations at a
Mm.
young age. I started doing breathing meditation at probably the age of 13.
Ooh, that's a
So
pivotal age too.
learning how to do that, and mind you, I didn't do it all the time. So I did it just when I needed to in moments of like hardship or something like that. And she would just say, Tayo, breathe. And I just learned how to use breathing meditation. And I learned that that was a part of mindfulness. I later
Got it.
learned that was a part. I did not know that that was even a part of the whole process that I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
I do body scan meditations. I did not know that that was like a mindful practice. It was like so many things I was learning as I got older. I was like, I need to get certified in this so I can teach other people how to do it. And
Mm,
let others understand that that's a part of just like feeling well and being present in the moment so that you can understand what's going on with your body and
yeah.
with your surroundings and everything, and how that brings an awareness to you that you don't even know that you need sometimes. So
Mm,
learning that was a lot. I mean, it was easy because actually after a while I just do it not paying attention, and it helps me so much. So yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
um we do move a lot, we do a lot, we are constantly on the go, all of
Busy. Just busy
us.
being busy.
Busy, trying to be busy, just trying to do
Trying to be
so.
busy. We don't need to be that
And
busy.
no, and one thing I do know is COVID reminded everybody is that we don't have to be that busy. Like,
We
it's
don't have
not
to be
that
that
serious.
busy. Hmm.
We can cut out half of our schedule for
At
the
least.
year and be okay.
Yeah.
Majority, and I think the pressure that we put on ourselves to be amazing, be this, be that, get these certifications, get these degrees, do all this stuff. We put a lot of get married, have
Baby, I am the queen.
everything. It's like,
I
what?
am the queen, okay?
A pressure?
Yes, because I for some reason I do, it's not for some reason. I do know why.
Uh-huh.
I grew up a very much an overachieving child. Overachievement
Mm,
was so rewarded, but as I got older, overachievement doesn't have the same reward.
it does
So
not. And
it's there's nothing on the side of overachievement to me in my mind because I've overachieved my entire life. And that's not a brag. I really mean that. So then
mhm.
as I got older, teenage years, it was like, why would I do that? Why would I still, why would I like when I graduated high school, first off, I left high school to go to work. And I was like, I don't want to go to high school no more. Let me take the GED. They were like, do you want to do you want to like study? And I was like, no. It was like the next week. Tested out of it. They were like, you sure you don't want to go to college? I was like, I'm gonna take a break. Girl had a whole baby. Like
Mm,
like so it like it's not a lack of intelligence. It's not even for me, I'm just talking about Andrea. It's not a lack of intelligence or anything like that, but that idea that I needed to overachieve, what I was addicted to and still have to check myself on is the feeling
of
of
the opinion.
overachieving. Now,
Okay.
I will be invested, overachieve, overachieve, overachieve. And then I can get right to the edge, and that's just enough. And I'm like, all right, cool, next thing.
Mm.
Right. And it's the
It's the
pattern, right?
thrill,
And it's
though. It's like not the thrill, but it's like
it
the
is.
yeah, it's the thrill of just like,
I
oh my
did that. That's cool. All right,
God, I
next.
did that. Yeah. And we do get to the point, and it's like, what's next? We don't ever really know. Yeah, I mean, I know someone who had that same issue, and it's they kind of tell me that same story about how it's like, I never had that problem because I'm like, I don't know. I never really had the problem of just being an overachiever. I just do stuff
Yeah.
and be like, all right. I'm too humble sometimes. I don't say anything when I do stuff. So I don't even know if even the third, I just love to accomplish my checklist. I'm big on checklists. So I don't know if that's my quiet thrill that I'm like, I finished this. Like
Yes, that's
I'm
it.
quietly just like, but I don't know. It's like I don't know if that's it could be a thing, but
You
it's
know,
a thing that we.
yeah, because I think, because I don't like to brag, right?
That's.
I don't do that.
Mhm.
What I will do, so what I have done. So recently, not so much. I've been really dedicated. I think I found my lane too. I
Mhm.
think that was really helpful because it really informed, not only, I feel like I've always been clear about who I am, but how I show up was always weird to me because I didn't feel like there were people that related to me in that way. And either I was someone's caretaker or I was the responsible kid, or that's not a great way to live. And
You
I
know.
mean, I I don't mind it now, but there's a lot. I give myself so much more grace to just be. And going back to what we were saying, the busy just being busy, I'm over that. Like I can't. I don't even want that because like if I can't just come
I
home and
want
lay
ease.
down,
I want ease into. I just want ease, and if
because
it's
good things can come
good
easy. They
things can
don't
come
have to
easily,
be
and
terrible.
that is the thing. We have an issue. As I'm gonna say, as Black
Yep,
people,
women
we have an
specifically.
issue that believe that if it doesn't come with a struggle or hardship, it's not like we shouldn't
Hmm.
brag about it. If we know it didn't take us mountains and ups and things should come to us smoothly and we should take it in. We
Hmm.
should enjoy it. We don't
Hmm.
do that enough.
Hmm.
We just don't do it enough. And I
Yeah.
heard I heard my mom say the other day, she said if this is not a struggle, it was just kind of she's like I probably don't like it because it's not a struggle. And I said, you are this age and we really coming to this decision now. Imagine the lineage of how much we have to get that out of our system of just understanding ease is just something that we should just
It should be expected.
did.
Our
Yes.
narrative, like,
Expect
listen,
good
all of
things.
us go through shit, but that
Yes.
should not be our badge of honor. Our badge of honor should be rest.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
I'm to the point now where I still have to fight off that, like, okay, I need to be doing something, but like, okay, so this is what I do. I do shit in chunks. So like so I don't know if you saw it, but it took a lot for me to say out loud all this stuff I've been doing around health and wellness, right? So I have these certifications and did these trainings. Now I got to get hours for all this stuff, and it's been really making me uncomfortable. Like
Mm.
I just finished doula training, so I'll be a certified postpartum prenatal doula plus a lactation support and educator, right? The next piece I want to get more into. More of like trans and LGBTQ support. And we did talk about it, but I want to be certified in it. But during the class, I was like, oh, I'm about to sign up for that class right now. And I was like, no, you still gotta get hours, sis. Like, right. And I had to,
Collect all these things you got to do. You got to do the work, do the other work.
right? Then girl, hold on. Then I'm looking at something else and I'm like, oh, I want that too. Okay. And I'm like,
Mm.
no, you need to like chill, sis. It ain't going nowhere. Like, well, and I'm thinking like
I think people, but that is the thing though. When you find that lane though, it makes you just want to, like, I'm getting all this.
I
Like, you
swear,
start grabbing everything that belongs in this lane. It's gonna be here when I need it. And I feel like
don't
that's
be here. It's
it's
gonna be, and what's crazy,
not going nowhere.
and that's it. And what's even crazier is I've done all the work as far as like diversity, equity, inclusion in my like in that vein in corporate spaces as a consultant. So when we talk about birth work or whatever, it's the same systems that are hindering us from being or birthing people from being taken care of, especially if you come from a traditionally disenfranchised group of people, whether you're an immigrant, whether it's socioeconomics, whether it is race, whether it's educational background. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've talked to people and they didn't know that they like the way they thought breastfeeding happened is just so opposite, but it's so healthy and so helpful. But there's also no shame in not breastfeeding. You don't have to breastfeed, right? It's just about making better choices. And to me, it overlaps so much. But that angst and fear of me like putting that out there, even though I've achieved all this whole laundry list of shit, why have I been sitting on this information? I really could have had hours months ago. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, honestly. And then I'm looking up and I'm finishing this last bit of the official doula training. And I gotta go witness 2 more births and support 2 more people. And I'm like, babies don't happen like this.
Mm-hmm.
It's
It's a
like, it's a
process.
process, right? And so I really had to check myself about that. But had been me 5 years ago, girl, I would have been loading that shit up. And guess what I wouldn't have done? Finished it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean, you know what I mean? Like that's what can happen with that overload. So that brings me back around. So now dealing with working with folks with chronic illnesses on top of stuff like that, what's that like?
Um, you know what? I had to learn how to unload and not take on so much. The same thing. I had to I had to really learn that because number
Mhm.
one, I was not only doing working at a home care company where people are constantly needing something from me. I was
Mhm.
also doing a chronic illness camp. And then so now you're planning for that camp all year and so many other, but it wasn't my camp alone, but it was just like I had to be involved. And
Mhm.
everything was just chronic illness, chronic illness. Every lane that I was in healthcare, chronic illness, taking care of people in some way. I
Mhm.
wasn't actually taken care of, but
Mhm.
the load was still on me heavy. If something went wrong,
Mhm.
I had to learn how to take care of myself and say, okay, I have to know when to shut off my phone, when to say no to this opportunity because I was being asked to do certain things, maybe speak here, go here, or do
Mhm.
something,
Mhm.
and I was just saying yes, yes, yes. And I read that book Year of Yes, and I was on a roll.
I
I don't
haven't
know.
read it.
Sometimes year of yes, I read that, and when I tell you, I was like, okay, this is my year. And this was like I don't know, like the year before last. I
COVID.
know.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just gonna say yes to everything, and that was my thing. I'm gonna continue to say yes and just
Mhm.
push forward. But my thing is, I I learned to pull back. I
Mhm.
learned to stop doing so much, and it it helps me balance everything because I had to really I want to make sure I was in the correct lane.
Mhm. Mhm.
I didn't want to make
Mhm.
sure I was doing too much. I didn't want to make I want if your hand is in too many places, are you really putting your full self into something? And
Mhm.
so I wanted to make sure everything was aligning that I was doing. No
Mhm.
matter
Mhm.
if everything said chronic illness, everything said healthcare, everything said it was all in the same lane, but I wanted to make sure that pull back and say, oh, you know, am I doing what I feel I
Yeah.
should be doing?
Yeah.
So how I mean, handling that I feel like it's not all on me all the time, but it's
Mhm.
still it weighs heavy because I take on too much of people. I'm empathetic, so I think I take on too much. Yes, so
Amen,
I
sis.
have to learn how to not take on other people's feelings because you're always, even though you're dealing with home care or whatever else,
Mhm.
people have problems. People have
Real
other things that
problem.
are going on. Yeah, it's not just oh I'm running a company. I'm actually have to take care of oh my son is this and I can't or my daughter is this so you're actually dealing with everyday life issues
Yeah.
with so I had to learn how to pull back from being an empathetic person
Mm. Mm.
and learn how to just adjust, I guess.
Mm. I've learned that too. You saw me raise my hand. For those
Yes.
of y'all that were not seeing this, I was raising my hand because one of the things that one of my coaches, there's 2 things that one of my coaches told me that have stuck with me was it's really easy to project on the care. It's really easy to project the care you need on other people and not
Mm,
turn it on yourself, right? Because now there is a level of accountability with taking
mhm,
care of yourself. And that
mhm,
accountability is exactly what you described. It's setting boundaries, turning my phone off, doing do not disturb, um, planning things accordingly. Like, I had to start prioritizing me eating every day, right? Not that I had an
I
eating
just ate
disorder,
like 30
but
minutes ago.
you can just, but yeah, but you know how it is, you get into the work. And the
Yep.
second thing is, struggle and needs live in the same house. How
Mm,
you get to the front door is on you, right?
mm,
And so, I mean, it could be real hard, it could be real easy. And saying, yes and no to things, and having clarity. For me, what's been helpful is finding my why. Why am I doing this? Right? Am I helping myself, or am I helping others, or is this feeding my ego too? So as Black and brown folks, we often can only brag to us, is just mentioning it is bragging. Like,
mm.
we'll pull it out when we got to check somebody. Like, first of all, I've been doing this. I have this degree, right? Like, but in normal
We
conversations,
are
we don't do
known.
that. So I want to just affirm that, because, and that's actually been a really common thread I've been having with everyone. Like, how are you taking, as people that take care of other people, how are you taking care of yourself? And that was just a really great example. Now, working with people that have chronic diseases, what do you find? So that with the people that you care for, what are you finding? Like, what are some common threads that people should be aware of or be thinking about? Because as we get older, our bodies change. Some of those diseases come up early in life, later in life. Some just pop up out of nowhere. Like, my dad has fibromyalgia. That's
Mhm,
relatively new for
mhm.
him. So finding out how to do that, and like, it's painful for those of you who don't know. It's like this chronic pain you're over your entire body, and it's painful. And for him, the best way to help him do that without taking hell and pain meds, which that doesn't always work all the time because your pain receptors are off,
There
is
you go.
moving, staying active. So taking time out of his day to, like, okay, let me get up. And he was doing Tai Chi, he was walking the lake or going to the mall, or just like, just being active as a
Oh
person.
yeah, I'm super. I actually just got super big on that more because
Mhm.
I think it's well, and I don't think it is mind, body, soul when you're taking care of yourself. And sometimes you can't do everything at the same time. You have to pick a side. Sometimes you're working on this, and I mean just like actively making sure that I am going to work on in these areas,
Mm.
and it's hard to do everything at
It's
once.
not realistic. It's not sustainable over time.
It's not helpful either because
Mhm.
you can be aware that you need to work in all those areas, but to actually have the strength to do it all at once while you're juggling your real life, it's not really easy. And so what I noticed is that I worked on mind. And I just constantly, okay, I wrote down things that I wanted to make sure I kind of um, needed to stay well, and or things that I needed to make sure that I'm doing, practicing mindfulness,
Mhm.
practicing many things that just built my mind up. And because
Mhm.
having your mind strengthening your mind basically helps you with your physical health, and that
Mhm.
was one of the things that I was like taught to do a little younger. So I think I focused on that first because I already
Mhm. And you found that
spiritual.
that's been helpful with your clients as well, as they're doing whatever they, or getting the help that they need, or care, I should say.
I think it's been helpful with them, but I've also had to. It's been helpful with them and their caregivers, because they're constantly my care. I know the people who have the chronic illness,
Mhm.
and they have people who are taking care of them who caught a chronic illness from taking care of them. So they now have like
Mhm.
high blood pressure and this and
Mhm.
just so many things because they actually took their time out to take care of that other person without
Mhm.
taking their self.
Mhm. Mhm.
So having those conversations with those people is like it's it weighs a lot on me. So I had to build my mind so that I can actually take on everyone else's stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm not a therapist, nothing like that. But you have to have these conversations, and people will sometimes lean on you and not even say, "Hey, can you take on this that I'm about to lay on you right now? Do you have the space to?" They're not asking you that. They
Yeah.
just walking up to you and telling you all the business, and that you
Yeah.
listen at that point
Yeah.
because you're now responsible for way more than you actually. You're responsible for a lot. You're
Mhm.
responsible
Mhm.
for, and
Yeah.
So, uh, yeah, and so I guess that was mine. So,
Mm-hmm.
spirit, soul was just like spiritual. Just what do I need? What do I, what am I filling myself up with? People deal with spiritual so many different ways.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't even tell someone how to manage that, but you know that you work on it. And
Mm-hmm.
and then body was me just like saying, okay, I have to lose this weight, this heaviness that's on me because it's also affecting my physical and mental health.
Mm.
So that's me just constantly walking a mountain, just getting outside and say, okay, I'm gonna walk. I don't
Mm-hmm.
care where, if it's up the street, I don't care where I'm going, I'm walking just to make
Mm-hmm.
sure I'm just actively moving. And that
Mm.
goes. So it's like you take the time to make sure you're working on these three things.
Mm-hmm.
And you can go back and forth. You can go up and down, you can pick however you choose, but I know that those are the three. I mean, I those are the three things that helps you live well,
Mm-hmm.
and it helps you if you focus on it. You can really take care of yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. What is it that why is there such a disconnect with chronic disease and actual like your doctors, your off like the healthcare system itself?
Well, with chronic illness in the healthcare system, number one is a disconnect between. I don't think it's a disconnect between chronic illness in the health system. I think it is a disconnect between the African Americans in the healthcare system. That is known.
Yeah.
But I mean, but that's one thing. But I don't think there's a disconnect in chronic illness because chronic illness is so many different things. I think how people manage it is
Mm.
probably the only disconnect because that's going to be pills, and
Yeah.
that's things that I don't take that. I don't try to fill myself up with that. So that's probably the only thing that I feel that makes chronic illness. That's the only disconnect that I see. Other than that, I think
Yeah.
people with chronic illness different ways.
Mm.
And chronic illness is a lot of things. So um,
So what
I
are
deal
chronic I guess we should say what
I
are
deal
chronic
mostly
illnesses?
I deal mostly with well with me chronic sickle cell, kidney cancer, um, fibromyalgia. What else? It's so many, and um, when I do, I guess it's so many. So that's why it's
Mm-hmm.
like you can't even really say it's a
Mm.
disconnect between chronic illness so much in the community.
Yeah. Is it
Yeah.
more of like the standard of care? Is that the word that I'm maybe thinking of?
Yeah, I think you may be thinking of the standard of care. That's what I was thinking when I said like it. You may see the disconnect between black people, black
Yeah.
women in the standard of care.
Mm.
The separation,
Mm.
it is a disconnect when it comes to that because the trust is not there, and just so many different things. People don't believe that they have to do simple things to even prevent a chronic illness, to manage their chronic illness,
Mm-hmm.
and so much more that goes into it. Um, but yeah.
Yeah. I'm always thinking about, especially when we start thinking about those things that come up when we're older. So we're living longer. We're also, eating more processed foods. And again, that's not to say things are bad. It just means anything, almost anything in excess it's terrible for you. You just
Yeah,
can't.
yeah,
Everything needs to have a balance, right? Um, and what I'm seeing or what I've noticed, and I can only talk about my own family and what I've witnessed with some of my clients, is that a lot of the issues that folks have now, not that they didn't have these illnesses, but they've gone so long without treatment. Now they've exacerbated to other stuff. So it's like,
yeah.
hypertension um, or not going outside enough, or your asthma. Like my son had asthma when he was a kid, so we made sure he played sports and kind of made sure he was like getting those up. Now, did he have asthma attacks every now and then? Yeah, but we also knew his triggers, so we tried to not try
It's
to avoid those as much as possible, and being really cognizant of that. It also took a lot for us to help him with education. Like I had to relearn how to parent because he learns differently. He's thriving. He makes A's and B's, ready for high school, all that, and very, a regular functioning kid. But academically, there's two sides to that. I think is one, kids go to school and they're all taught the same way, and
Mhm.
we all know all of
So
us don't.
we do not learn the same way. I used to be like, please, somebody get me out of here.
Right.
I did not learn that way.
Yeah.
And it's a lot, but go ahead.
Yeah, no. And I kind of related that experience for me, and then seeing like my dad or my grandmother or whatever, it's kind of the same thing. It's kind of scary to know that you got to change your life in that way and really start looking at you, and it's you taking care of you. Hopefully you're not, hopefully gets you get a chance to take care of you before someone else has to take care of you, is my point. And trying to find space where you're seen, where you don't feel like you're a burden to other people or all of that. And so I was making the connection of me having to get reparented, because how I was parented does not work for him. He don't care about no punishment. Like he don't care about me yelling. Like it's,
He
for
don't
him,
mind being in the house all day.
it's causality for him, right? It's cause and effect, right? It's
Hmm.
these other things that matter to him. But had I have not taken the time to know how
Hmm.
to help him be him, and when I don't know, I get the help to help me be better as a parent. Even, and I don't let my ego fuck with
Get in
me
the
so
way.
much where I'm like, I'm a good parent. No, no, no. A good parent
Yes.
is going to give you resources. And I think when we think about medical care, even if it's just like me, a doula, or you, and having a home care, I almost said facility. I don't know if you have a facility.
It's not a facility.
Okay.
We
Yeah, service. Yeah. Really thinking about that kind of care, because everybody's not the same.
hmm
Do you find that there's the two questions? Is there resistance when people know that they've gotten to the point where they are where they are and needing your support? And then two, do you find that it's helpful once, if someone really is attuned with trying to get feeling better? Because I don't want to say get better like they're broken, because they're not. It's just
Get to a state
sometimes,
of just fully
yeah,
accepting
yeah.
like
What do you
themselves.
what do you think about that?
Um, I think that you have the hardest time bringing them to reality that something that they need help. I think that's the hardest part for them because
Mm,
number one, it's like now it's so many things. I'm a burden. I'm no longer who I was. The reality is you're now a whole new person. Sometimes people have things that happen to them and they can no longer function the same, of course. But it's like I have to figure out how to live a new life. And
mhm,
you don't really know what point, even for your family, for you, for whoever, but whoever's surrounding you or if it's you yourself, you have to figure out how to live that new life that goes with whatever you're dealing
mhm,
with.
mhm,
So trying to get someone to understand that is number one, the hardest.
mm,
Trying to get someone to understand that they may need help is hard. Um, so I think that's a big struggle, and I think we deal with a lot. I mean,
mm.
we my dad started this home care company, and when I tell you that he would not accept care, so it's like he didn't feel well at one point. And he did not accept care. It's because it was just his ego. His ego
Mm,
wouldn't let someone else take care of him when he's
mhm,
been doing this service for so long. So it's
mhm,
just like a thing of just like I'm not there yet, and it took him a long time to realize I'm finally here.
mm,
Help.
mm.
I'm okay. You surrender. You get tired of fighting. People fight till the end of just not even wanting the support from their family because they're like, I got this. That's that struggle bus that we
We
all
love
want
the
to
struggle
know.
bus, honey. We stay
It's
getting
the
on that
struggle
bad
bus.
boy.
And you have the help. And so we don't like it. We resist help in every way. We like to feel like we did it.
Mm-hmm.
People want that recovery story, and I'm not trying to
Mm.
really say that like that, but I'm like, it's like a
It's a badge of honor, and it doesn't
badge
have
of
to
honor.
be.
So it's hard. So,
Yeah.
but everyone needs help. Everyone needs help, no matter chronic illness, no chronic illness, whatever. Everyone needs support in
Mm-hmm.
some form. So yeah.
Mm. You know, I have so many questions about this because I'm always thinking, how much more can we all do as folks around those people, right? So when you hear a diagnosis from someone, whatever that thing is, right? You could have gotten it, God forbid, you get in a car accident and you lose your legs,
It's
right?
just that simple.
So your life has changed.
Hmm.
I was dealing with trying to figure out making sure these offices were what they call it, ADA certified or
ADD.
whatever. Yeah. And just walking, like I had broke my foot and I couldn't walk on it for like, I don't know, 6 weeks or something like that. And then after they took the boot off, I still had to walk on crutches for like another 4 weeks. When I tell you I could not get around in that office, it was just the
Mhm.
stairs were like, I mean, I'm talking about like peak. It was so insane. And they're like, oh, we'll just work from home. Right. And I did, it was fine. And then when I was like, well, why can't I work from home anymore? And they're like, well, aren't you doing better? And it's kind of like, anyway, that's a whole, I girl almost got off on a soapbox. Anyway,
No, but I get
um,
what you're saying though, because it's like you didn't have what you were supposed to provide, so you took everything.
right,
You didn't want to
right.
get in trouble, or you didn't want to have that
Cause I could have legit
against. Yeah,
injured myself.
yeah.
Legit. Like, I mean, those stairs were ridiculous. They had no way to get up the stairs. So I would have to slide myself up the stairs. I did that for 2 days and I was like, check this out. If you cannot give me an office somewhere on the main floor and we share it with the bank, then
Mm-hmm.
I can't come in here. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not going to hurt myself more. And my leg is on fire. I just broke my damn foot. Like legit broke my foot. I fractured it. Like it was crazy. I couldn't put no weight on it. And to like do that, like, okay, no. We talking about I can't even tell you how many stairs it was. But anyway, so as people that are around folks that need your help and support, what's your advice there?
Well, see, the thing is with this, in when I do in home care, our support goes to a minimum when it
Mm,
comes to family support and things like that. We can only support, it's like so much, because they would
yeah.
need a social worker to take on the
Oh,
support that they really need. So
yeah.
we can only do so much. But when I do my work with the selfish self-care,
Self care. That's what I'm talking about.
that's okay. That's okay. So
Yeah.
I th- I don't want to get them confused, because
Yeah, no worries.
with selfish self-care, I don't really do that with um the in-home care company,
Hmm.
because they need
It's
more
different.
than I can. Yes, different.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do with chronic illness. I do a lot of work with the sickle cell community and things like that. And it's just basically more empowerment. Maybe those are the stories that I should be telling versus the other ones, but they're all the same though. But yeah.
Yeah. So
Um,
what do those families do? Like, not as the person experiencing it, but the folks around them. Like, what do you do?
so what do they do when they're
They're the person. They're their caretaker, or they're the person helping these other folks in the space that they don't really know. Because we know how people get when they have to ask for help, and they probably most of us don't.
I mean, I think, well, number one, it's an emotional, it's an emotional situation. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
how do you really tell someone that they now have to um
Rely on someone else.
yeah, they have to, yeah, you have to now rely on me to just do everything for you. You no longer have you feel like you don't have a voice,
Mm,
and you lose yourself. You lose, you don't know who you are anymore. What you used to know is no longer there. Trying to recover that takes a lot, and it's very it kind of, it just breaks you down.
mm.
It caused depression, emotional issues. It caused PTSD. It caused it causes so many different things. And um, I think that it just affects you overall.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, and I'm gonna say that families have different ways of dealing with it. Like I said, so
Yeah.
yeah.
So with selfish self-care, what's the goal? What's your dream for that? For the
um,
work there?
the dream for that is to basically, I just my goal is to empower others to build that strength back up. I think when
Mm,
you find out that you have a chronic illness, or if you already had one, you kind of slump down. You don't feel that you're worthy of of a lot of things. Like you really don't see yourself in that same light. So I think
mm,
my goal is to selfish self-care is to empower others to learn how to really tap into your mind, body, soul, so you can build yourself back up,
mm.
and not just build yourself back up like they're broken, like you said, but
Yeah.
but just build yourself up so that
Yeah.
you can
Evolve.
evolve. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And grow
Mm-hmm.
into the person that you want to see. Like, understand that you have a vision for yourself, and I really just want people to kind of get that, just know that they can live with a chronic illness and still live in the world with the chronic
Mm,
illness. So that's one of my main goals, is to kind of
yeah.
just
What
bring
are
that
what are
about.
some like really great success stories you've seen or experienced with your clients or folks that you know that have taken that on? Like, okay, I want to try and get out of this space.
I think that people, well, I created a journal. I think that I've seen the most success with the journal.
Hmm.
Journaling your way to feeling better. I think that was one of my main sessions that I created or started, and I basically, I think one of my main success stories is just basically them seeing the transition of where they started in their journal, because it's prompt journals. So I give them a start to where to start and how they feel, what's going on. And these are just strictly healthcare journals. They're
Yeah.
not for you, just the average person. They're strictly healthcare journals. So it's like starter prompts. How did you feel um once your nurse left the room? How did you feel
Mm,
once she left? And they have to write about that. So it's like it's giving them a start to finish on their hospital visit, and they're kind of it gave them a I think after a while they just kind of got into the habit of understanding more self-awareness, I guess,
mm,
afterwards.
mhm,
So
mhm.
I think I would say that I've helped others gain that amount of self-awareness to be more confident and advocate for themselves and things
Yeah.
like that. So yeah.
Yeah. What do you do? So now, how is your podcast connected to selfish self care?
Well, I don't. It's not really a podcast. It's more so just me going live and just, you know, just.
I'm sorry. I call everything a podcast at this
Well,
point.
I know everyone. We're so used to podcasts, but everything is connected.
Yeah.
Um, but everything is connected. But what I kind of do, I just kind of give information. Like on my podcast, I just talk about um like right now, I like wellness in our roots. I feel like I want to just give people information about how to take care of themselves without medicine, I guess, directly, because I think that
Mm.
we are so focused on medicine a lot and things like that.
Yeah.
It's just a wellness podcast. It just helps you. So it's not only just taking care of yourself. It's just a conversation. It's just a
Mhm.
conversation about different ways. Like I think I had someone on there to talk about just their weight loss journey and how it helped with their health.
Mm.
So it's just small things. Some people don't realize that those small things can help with their um I think she just gave a long story about how her weight affected her brain, and it causes brain.
I gotta listen to that.
Yes, so it affected her brain, and she had to almost have brain surgery.
Shut
And
up.
so people don't know those things. So when you already have a chronic illness, and then you're tempted to have another, just things on top of
Right on
things,
the edge, yeah.
we're on the edge. So I feel like it's just like needed. And granted, other people may discuss the same things, but it's a lot when you have multiple chronic illnesses on top of one. People don't understand that that's a real thing, so they don't take care of themselves and realize, oh, I got one chronic illness, which is cancer or something. But I'm like, if you don't take care of yourself, you would have three or four. And so I just kind
Mm.
of give other people other things like aromatherapy, how to use aromatherapy
Girl,
as a
tell me how you use aromatherapy because I'm very particular about smells, but I
yeah.
do love it. It's just if it's not like I can't. I'm just now coming around to lavender, but I can't smell it in the air. I
Mm.
love jasmine. I hate smelling lavender. It is something about it, like it just does something right here. My
See, and
literally my nose flared and I could feel it. My nose smelling it just now. Just
And
talking
I loved lavender was my starter. That was my I love, but I had to learn that though. I had,
Mm,
I just thought that everyone would just love every aroma there. It's just therapeutic for everybody. That's what I originally thought.
yeah,
And so, but then I had to realize that there's like a science to that where
yeah,
certain scents affect people in different ways. But aromatherapy helps me. It just helps you relax, just like when you're going to get a massage and things like that.
yeah. Oh, I
People
want
don't
one so
realize
bad
that
right
that
now.
helps with bring pain down.
Mm,
So aromatherapy relaxes you, and it releases stress out of your body, and that slows down pain. And
mm,
people don't understand that relaxing your body in simple ways can release pain.
yeah,
So it's therapeutic. Just
yeah. What do you use? Oh, so like, how do you? I don't understand how people do it because I was literally watching something on TV. Oh no, I was just taking a doula class. Duh. They were talking about this, right? And they had this whole section about relaxing the mom, visualization, all this other type of stuff. They were talking about the oils and the types of oils and say like they're not all the same. So
no.
even like one lavender might be different from another. There's some that like just smell good, and there's other ones that have like those healing properties. Um, so I was just fascinated by that. And then when you just said that, my brain went ping, like, oh yeah, someone was just telling me about that. I just get so worried about um I don't know. I'm not really worried. That's not true. I love candles. So anywhere
Mhm.
in my house, I got candles everywhere. However, you can't have candles burning while you sleep. Like
Oh, yeah.
so I've been thinking about that and but I didn't realize that it had the association with pain. I mean, I know smell can take me back to a moment. It
Hmm.
can definitely pull up a feeling for me. Like there's
Hmm.
this smell that I smell when I smell jasmines. I remember I could smell it right now, but like walking down
But that
the
still
street
gives
to
you
my school. Yeah. What were you
it
saying?
gives you like a it's still like a nostalgic, just like it puts you in a mood. It still puts you in a mood. I think aromatherapy is like putting you in a mood or whatever. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm. I'm gonna have to look into that. I've seen people have diffusers, all that kind of stuff. I just haven't had the opportunity to like get into it. Also, listen, I'm trying to be cool and not take on 30,000 things. So, because, and then too, like once I get
Does
focused on it,
it would help with your practice in general, like if you get more into it. Just that's just like when you go and get a massage and things like that, they have to set the mood and things like that. And
yeah,
so and they never ask me, do you like lavender, do you like this, and I think they just automatically
girl,
put
if I
on
smell lavender,
whatever.
y'all have got to get that up out of here.
I can
Y'all
imagine.
have got to get that out of here. I
I
bought some lavender
can
like Aveeno that I don't mind, but
imagine.
it's like the essence of it. It's not like all over me.
But it's
I'm
it's it's so many others that you can actually try, like eucalyptus or any of them. They may be more therapeutic to you.
I love eucalyptus. Have you seen the people putting the eucalyptus branches in their showers?
Oh yes, from Trader Joe's. I love
Yeah, I'm about to go as soon as we hang up. I'm gonna go and walk over. Trader Joe's is like down the street from my
I
house.
seen that. Yes, I have not. I didn't try it yet, but I probably should. But yeah.
I'm okay. So I just want to know how that works. I'm gonna figure that out. I'm gonna do that because I love the smell of eucalyptus. That's another smell that I remember when I was a kid. We used to have not we, but my neighborhood had a lot of eucalyptus trees, and then my school had eucalyptus trees all the way around it. So not only would you smell it like on a hot day, but the sap would be on the ground, and like you could really smell it. Like I forgot all about that.
Yes, but you those are the things, like it brings you some type of calmness though. Like,
Yeah, that
and
good
every
nostalgic
smell is
feel.
not for everybody.
True.
But when you find your scent, it will put you in a whole mood. Like I have lavender pillow mist. I have
Okay.
rollers that I keep in my purse for if I ever get anxious or anything. It helps me relax. So it brings you back down. So whether
Mm,
it's it don't have to always be, lavender, but that's
hmm.
my choice. And that's what I started with, and that's what I
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm all for a good smell good. It's just I lavender. I don't know why I don't like lavender. It just
mm,
like it is just a visceral response every time I smell it. There's another one that I cannot stand. It's something I don't know. It's something wild. Oh, it's like vanilla. I
oh,
don't mind. Like I like vanilla bean smells. I don't like. There's this other type of vanilla. It just smells like it smells like it, but it's not warm. You
I'm gonna
know?
say that's how I feel about cinnamon. So I think it's the same thing.
Oh yeah, no
I don't like
cinnamon.
cinnamon.
I like to eat it. I
I
don't like to
don't
smell it
eat
like
it.
that.
Nope.
You don't even eat it?
Now I do eat it, but I don't really care to eat it. Like I'll
Mm.
eat a cinnamon roll or something like that, but it's
Yeah,
cinnamon.
that's all I mean. I don't go
Okay.
crazy with cinnamon. I'll eat it in or have it in chai tea or chai spice tea, just because
Yeah.
it's kind of in that same realm anyway. Okay, so now I've been doing a lot of more consulting and chatting with folks for nutrition. And one of
Mm-hmm.
the things that keeps coming up is the conversation around fat phobia and eating disorders, and really using language that's not doing harm, but that's actually helpful.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm thinking about nutrition, so in my practice, I am usually talking about everything that's on your plate, not just food, like your work, your
Mm-hmm.
family life, your home life, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your romantic relationships or not, your dog, your cat. It's like everything that's on your plate, like those responsibilities or things that you think you need to be holding on to. And what I found in doing that work is sometimes, and this is why I wanted to bring you on, is sometimes we just get so focused on the like I was in this group. I'm a heavy research person. I love to do research, right? So I was joining all these Facebook groups because I really wanted to, specifically for Black and Brown women, to see what women are actually talking about in this day and age. Different age groups too. You see a lot of the same trends, surprisingly, with image.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to look like this person, and it's not possible. You'll never look like them.
Look
Like
like
listen, and
well,
I'm not
well,
opposed to anybody getting any work done that you want, but you're never going to look like that person.
and people don't know their body type is set up for a reason. Like I feel like if you look at your genetics, your DNA or whatever, I feel like if I look down my line, I'm like, oh, my body type is set up this way. And it will take me years to get to a Kim K or any of them.
Yeah.
Like
And Kim K
I'm
ain't even Kim K.
not, no, she's what?
I said Kim K ain't even Kim K no more.
No, she's not. She's not.
Eh,
She's a whole
whole
fake.
new her.
Let
And
me
look,
find
do
somebody
you, boo
named
boo?
Gabby or something.
Please do you. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
A
I,
Gabby, sorry. Kim K just popular. But either way it
yeah.
go,
No, I know what you mean.
I my lineage is just thick and just arms, and I'm just like, sometimes I'm like, okay, I know to just stay a
Yeah.
certain weight
Yeah.
that I'm like my BMI is not off or anything like that, like
Hmm.
stay on track. But other than that, like I don't I don't I don't push that. Like I'm fine with no makeup. I'm fine with just. I'm like, oh, I'm me,
Yeah.
and what you
Yeah.
gonna
Do
get?
you feel like it's like, or I'll share, for me, it's how I'm feeling. Like,
Mm-hmm.
am I feeling really good? And
Mm-hmm.
I don't mean like I'm looking fly today. Those are
Mm-hmm.
also good days though. Let's be clear.
Yes.
When you're feeling fly, them days come, honey. You'll be like,
Hey,
okay, did you say something to me? Like hair swinging, honey. But those ones that you save for a rainy day is really like so imperative. Like I feel like it's so polarizing almost now too, where people are just having conversations where it's like you either wear makeup or you don't. And or for women, the proximity to men, right? Oh,
Mhm.
well, I don't like my women like this, or I like my women like that, and all and it's like y'all don't know. First of all, most men don't know what's real or fake, so I'm gonna need
No,
all y'all to like bring it all the way down.
they don't ever see their female. They don't even know what their girlfriend really looked like. I know this one guy who said I never seen her without makeup, and the whole entire relationship. And I was like, that's
Have a baby, sis, like, or like I don't know, you choke on some. I don't know, like, what if you sick? Like, how does that even happen?
how does that work?
That's
Yeah,
crazy. It's crazy, but
no.
that's so common.
Mm-hmm.
It's so common. I read this book. This woman would get up hella early, go put on her makeup, and then lay
Makeup.
back
Yep.
down.
I don't know if that's the story. I don't know what book that is, but I think that it's just
I
like a
think we
story
may have read the same book because I was like,
because
she is batshit crazy. I wish I would lose sleep to go put on
I
a
wouldn't.
full
I would
beat.
never. I would never. You're gonna wake up and you're gonna see this. No,
Right,
I don't
right.
lash on, and that's why I'm sorry. People get lashes and stuff. I don't really do that too much because I don't like stuff on my eyes. But I think I love the natural look more than anything, like
Yeah,
the natural face.
yeah, yeah.
Um, I don't care to do all the extra stuff. I'm like that. That means I have to impress. I'm like, who am I doing it for? Like at
Yeah.
this point, and my biggest thing is it's just like tattoos. When I get older, my body is going to change. No. That's fine. I have them. I have them. I ain't saying I don't, but I'm talking about I'm not covered in them. Like my
Yeah.
whole, like no, I have
Mhm.
them. Don't get me wrong. No, but I'm talking about like certain things where people just get their whole, the face
Oh
stuff,
yeah, yeah,
the whole body, not just regular everyday tattoos. Everybody been there.
yeah. I think I
I'm
think when we
I
think
think that
about that, go 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 go.
you get older and your body change and you're gonna look different and
Yeah.
is that gonna be the thing that you want? It's permanent. You can't those body changes that you're actually, doing. What if you decide to have a child? You have to, it's like people are getting so many different things that I can't imagine. I'm too natural in my
Yeah,
um
and I think that speaks to I had to have that conversation with my son because
mm,
he was just like, "Do you know who Santana the rapper is? The guy?" Anyway,
it's a rapper named
a
Santana.
rapper. He's a gay guy. He's a gay
Okay,
man.
okay,
He's a
okay.
rapper. Super
Oh,
fun.
Santana, the walk
Santana.
the guy. Okay, now,
Yeah.
okay,
Yes.
now I
Walk.
know.
So he got like his body done or whatever. And the first time I saw him get his body done, it looked really good. You know,
Mhm,
he's a bigger gentleman. So of course, you get your waist snatched, all that, not mad at it. And then he got it done again. And we were
mhm.
talking and he was like, yeah, I want my body to look like that. And I was just like, babe, like,
No.
what is it
Yeah.
that you want to look like that, like, right? And really kind of unpacking. Now, what you said was key was, who am I doing this for? And if
Mhm.
you want to do, like, for me, I cannot wait to get my boobs done. Okay. I've
Oh,
never had
we on the
boobs.
same page. I think that's the
Girl,
only.
I cannot listen. Y'all will never
You
see me in a regular
ain't
shirt.
told me nothing.
Right?
You
But
want
I'm
this in my
doing it
camera
because I really want them. I really do. Right.
Mhm.
And I
And I
think
don't want
even,
huge ones. I just want mine to be a little bit
yeah, girl, I don't listen. I don't know what honestly, I can't be trusted. Okay. I don't know. Okay. I can't promise that I won't do too much. What I am saying though is
do the
I think
most.
who you're doing it for is so important. And it goes back to
Mhm.
what I was saying earlier. What's your why? Like
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that'd be a great gift to myself. I I don't one, I wear makeup, I wear mascara, I wear eyebrows. Girl, my eyebrows ain't penciled in today, but I barely have eyebrows. Um, but I also, that has never been my focus. It doesn't mean that I don't necessarily like it. It's just not a priority. Now, there are some people that love makeup. Like that
Mm-hmm.
is their shit. And they wear that shit and will always wear it because they love
And,
it. And I
and they
love that for them. But what I don't love is
admire them because I cannot
I
do my makeup.
can't fathom. Like,
I'm gonna say this. I be like, oh, they doing their makeup, blah 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 blah. But I be thinking in my head like,
I could
will
literally never.
if I knew how to really like beat my face, will I be floating in makeup
Yes,
every day?
yes, I would. Yes, I would. I know I would. I know I would. Like
One
I'm,
girl brought it to my attention. She said, "Y'all just mad because y'all can't do your makeup." And I said, "You know what?
but she's
You
not lying. It's not a
you
lie.
are right. You are so right." And if
Girl,
I
I
did fix
sit
my
and watch
makeup,
video after. Listen, you
and
can catch me
I slip
watching
into it.
video after video. I will never. I have tried 3 times to do a full beat. It's something about foundation I never get
I
right.
just I
I
can't.
like I put on too much in a random place. Then I like, and then I've watched like really, so a lot of, so actual real makeup artists now have a lot of YouTube, and there's like the Welsh brothers. They're from like the UK or something, but one of them always talks about how on YouTube these YouTubers are like caking on makeup, and you don't
Makeup.
have to do that. And so showing us like, okay, you want to like get those dark circles, you do this, like take your thing and like, and so I'm like, oh, I now that I could do, right, these little things that are helpful. And then one thing that he said was like, I don't care what anybody tells you, makeup's never going to make you look natural. So
Mm-mm.
stop.
Mm-mm.
If you want to be
If
natural, then be
makeup
natural.
makeup
Right.
is to pack on your face. And I
Yeah.
do hear people say that all the time. I think I say that a lot. I'm like, I'm just going for a natural look. And one time I told somebody, I said I would never say that again when I walk into them. I went to go get my makeup done. And I said, oh, just give me a natural beat. They put no makeup on my face. I paid 100, almost $100. It's something like 80 or something like that.
That's still a lot of money, sis.
That's a lot of money. Then to put no makeup on my face and I
Some
walk out
foundation and some
looking like
gloss.
myself. I'm
No.
like, okay, makeup is to be beaten.
It's it is to be beat. That is
Yeah.
literally it. If I could beat my face like that, I'm not kidding you. I would absolutely. Now, would I do it all the time? No. But listen, I had my hair this long for 10 years. So
Mm-hmm.
if y'all want to talk about makeup and like preparing yourself, that's not, I don't focus on that much.
Mm-hmm.
I worry about these teeth because my parents paid a bunch of money for them, so I try to keep them together. But that reminds me, girl, my anxiety had got so bad last year, I cracked a molar from clenching. So
Mm.
that's one thing that I have to get fixed, but I hate going to the dentist now that I'm older. But
Mm.
whatever. Anyway, but I digress. I know that that's not me. And I had to really even check myself. So even like when I think about the body work people do, the tattoos people get, like cool. I just want you to be okay with whatever decision you make. I don't want you to be doing shit because somebody else is doing it. I don't want your why to be like point at that person and say I want to look like that. It is so
Mhm.
heartbreaking to me
Yeah,
when I
because
see that. And it's
yeah.
heartbreaking because, like you said, I know my lane, my body type. I know how I'm going to look. So unless I get some work done, that's just what it is. Right. And
Exactly.
I think even for you, and at least please correct me if I'm wrong, but it was like, no, I just want to feel better.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to be able to be active in the way that you choose to be active. And I think that's a better way to look at weight, nutrition, like food nutrition, all that. I want to feel better for me the way that I'm going to feel better for me. I've been a slim person my entire life. I
Mm-hmm.
also was an athlete from third grade to high school. So like there's a lot in my favor in that way. I'm also hella tall. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
but that does not mean I was healthy. It was a long time that I was not healthy. I was sick all the time. I had migraines every single day. I used to have somebody pick me up from work because I would be just tunnel vision aura, right? Like, and that's the thing. Like, I want us to stop looking at people and saying, oh, you're healthy. Or
Yes,
that's some like, oh
that
no,
is
boo, I was
not
not
the
healthy. I
yes,
I
that's
literally,
not.
when I stopped drinking for a period of time, I had started recording myself every day. And the difference in the way my face, my skin looked to like say now was so different. And when I look back, I did not look good. But at the
Mm,
time, I'm just oblivious, right? And that's why I keep like, and I'm so adamant about driving that home. I'm not saying you can't drink. I'm not saying you can't smoke. I'm not saying you can't party. I still have a drink every now and then. I'm just on. I feel better. It doesn't feel good for me to be partying
mm.
like that every weekend anymore.
And
Right? I
and
don't
and
even know that it felt good then. If I'm being honest,
no,
like
I
I
think
feel like,
it was a filler. It was
yeah,
just you just knew you had to
do some.
do something.
Do
And
some,
part
and
of
I
it
know what I was looking
is
for
you.
real.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just doing stuff, and don't get, and like I said, I enjoy drinking, but I also have addiction in my family, so I have to be really careful. Like it
Yeah,
could
that's a
be
different thing. Yeah.
COVID. Let me know that I need to be real careful about how much I'm drinking and how often. I had to like really check myself because, girl, it got to the point where I was just like, oh, it's 3 o'clock, cool. Then my body would start noticing it was 3 o'clock,
Mm.
right? So now it's like I'm looking for a shaker, right? I'm at home. So
You,
who gonna check me?
who
And
gonna
I
check
live
me?
alone.
Yes.
I live alone. I don't have
Mhm.
my son during the school week last year. So why not? Okay. Right? Now I'm feeling like shit when I get up in the morning, but I'm also not eating in the morning because I didn't got up, didn't give myself, I didn't literally rolled over, looked at my phone, checking work emails. And then my whole workday started like that. Now I'm in tunnel vision, 2 o'clock, and
And
I haven't
nothing.
eaten. So now I'm eating whatever. And then now I'm back at 3 o'clock having a cocktail. Like, hold on.
No.
Like,
Yeah, and
what's going on?
it's that time to just pull back and just like think. I know I have an issue with forgetting to eat, and then when I remember to eat,
Doing too
I will
much.
eat
Mm-hmm.
anything. Yeah, so it was a big thing for me. But other than that, I think that I'm not a big drinker. I've never been a big drinker. Couldn't really drink like that anyway because of
Yeah.
I just can't intake that much. So I was lucky in that area to not even worry about certain
Mm-hmm.
things. But um, as far as nutrition go, I just think that we don't focus enough on just making sure that we are um, fully hydrating ourselves, and
Just regular small
just
things.
regular small things. It's like that thing to say, drink your water, and
First thing in the morning.
drink your water. No, drink your water and mind your business because it
Oh,
is
drink
healthy.
your-
Really, really healthy. Like eating is one thing, but people don't drink water, and this is something so simple. People don't drink enough water. I know some people who right now tell me who this one guy that I know of. He actually said that I don't drink water, and I said, as a
Wow.
black man, I never met anyone like that. I didn't know it. I didn't know it exists. I didn't know it was the issue. But I'm just saying something so simple as drinking water and making sure you do
Yeah.
daily things. I think that's I think people have their own thing to get through, get
Of
by,
course.
and so I don't, and I'm big on just making sure I don't judge anyone because I can anytime at any moment be in any space that I
Mhm.
just said that I would never be.
That's it. That's
And
it.
I'm so big on that. I'm just like I hear you telling me your problem, but I would never look at anyone different because that could be me tomorrow. You
Yeah.
know. And
Yeah.
so I don't judge people for having tattoos or like
Mhm.
or if they I normally don't, it's just certain things that I normally don't do. Like whatever it is that you do, everyone do their own thing. I feel like that's your own level of
Yeah.
health. And I think that affects people's health when you actually like your son, when he said that he wanted to be someone else, like that, I guess that level of judgment that people put on like how you should be and how you should look,
Mhm.
what you should walk like. How will that give me followers now? That's the new thing too, because
Girl,
if
it's
I look,
exhausting.
hmm?
It's exhausting.
It's too much. It's a lot.
I can't do it.
It's a lot. It's a whole lot.
Yeah.
So taking on all that, I think it's just stressful.
Yeah. And
Taking
it's
on
not
your body.
healthy for us.
It's not healthy.
And
No.
it doesn't feel good. When I start with my clients, I'm always asking, like, the first thing, okay, you want to do all this stuff. Why?
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing? Because I'm not going to help you not reach that goal because you'll never reach it with me.
What
It'll never be a time that you can't. I'm a slim person.
mm-hmm.
I got a little head, little ass. It ain't no way I'm gonna grow a size D boob.
No.
I'm 35 years old. It ain't gonna happen,
It
right?
didn't
So it's
happen.
like, right? And so we know what you got to do that. So okay, so I want to focus on. I won't work with people that just want to like quick turnaround. That's not how health works.
Mm-hmm.
Like even the cycle of water to your face, right? Like or skin. So a lot of people just drink a lot of water, drink a lot of water. Yes, but your skin cycles every 36 days. So you're not even really going to see that big change until around 21, 26 days. So you're talking about constantly drinking water from start to finish in order to really see change. So you
Mm.
drinking water for a week,
That's not gonna do nothing.
it's not going to do nothing. And it's like setting, for me, I think it's more of setting the right expectations and not for me. I may not want, maybe my skin's not an issue, so I don't need to drink a lot of water, but maybe my kidneys are, so I need to drink a lot of water. Right? Like,
That is a big thing, though.
yeah.
That
Yeah,
is
it's
a.
the processes in your body. And that's the first thing. I'm like, how much water are you drinking?
Mm-hmm.
How's your sleep? How much water are you drinking? How's your sleep? And what are your plates look like? What do you got going on? What's
Mm-hmm.
affecting those? Because what I have found, even like gut health is huge right now. And there's like some correlation to like sugar, the sugar imbalances of it all.
Inflammation.
Inflammation, which is
Inflammation.
another huge
The, the
one.
the the inflammation from the sugar and the butter and all that stuff. I didn't know how serious it was to the beginning of this year.
Oof.
And when I tell you, you cannot catch me barely eating any sugar, any chips, any oil, all that stuff is like my body started talking to me literally through pain. Like just every time
Oof.
I ate something really sugary or buttery or anything, my body just was rejecting it. I was feeling
Mm-hmm.
nauseous, throwing up. And not fully throwing up, but wanting to throw up.
Yeah,
So
it doesn't feel good.
yeah.
I stopped eating fried chicken. Y'all gonna kill me. That's why I don't like fried
No, no,
chicken.
no.
I
I don't
do not like it.
I
I
don't eat
haven't
it.
liked fried chicken since I was pregnant with my son. I've just never liked fried chicken
Mm,
ever again. I know, take my black card, all that. I do
not
not
hey,
like fried chicken. I just don't. I love chicken. I don't love
yes.
fried chicken. It gives me heartburn. I feel nauseous. And then acid reflux, and then my anxiety rests in my stomach. So now we're talking about I'm feeling anxious because of like a sour stomach. And then like now all the things that also happen with being anxious, right? And they just, like you said, it starts with this one thing. It's all the other shit that's hard. It's knocking all this other stuff to get to that one thing because we're oblivious.
Yes. And I think that it's the inflammation was probably was making you nauseous. People don't know the inflammation is affecting you, like whatever, when you're feeling sick and nauseous from eating certain food. I just learned this. I learned a
Okay.
lot about inflammation because I had to do that work. But if people took more time to learn about inflammation, we would understand that our bodies are rejecting this food. When I say I work on mind body, so it took me forever to realize, okay, I need to focus on body more because I need to know what's going into my body. What am I eating? What am I doing? Even the alcohol consumption, I still, everybody might drink here and there, but the alcohol, everything matters. And when you don't take the time to actually understand your body and when it's speaking to you, you don't you don't pay attention. When you're not paying attention or aware that your body can
Mm-hmm.
speak to you
Mm-hmm.
um through different ways, then you won't I guess you won't really you miss, I guess you miss it. I guess I would say this,
I
because if
think
I
that's
didn't pay
right.
attention, if I didn't pay attention, I kept saying like, my body's telling me not to eat this. My body told me not to eat chicken. My body told me not to eat sugar. When
Mm.
my body, so it was just like, listen to what it's rejecting.
But
We
it
know.
started with you being mindful.
There you go. And there you go. That's how it began. It
Yeah.
started with mindfulness, and I just being aware. I was able to be present and fully
Yeah.
aware of what's going on with my body.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
it ends up helping you out in the end,
Yeah.
um, and helps you take care of yourself. So
Yeah. All right, girl. We've been on for a minute, so I got some rapid fire, and then
no.
we're gonna hop on up off here. You ready? Um, okay, so if you could describe the importance of self-care in 3 words, what would they be?
Mind, body, soul.
Ah!
I don't know. I just feel like that's the temple. It's how you take care of yourself in every aspect. When you go into the hospitals, it says mind, body, soul. Everything you do is mind, body, soul. I feel like everything is that. Self
Mm,
care is taking care of these things, tapping into those areas of your life that um it's just tapping into those areas so that you can take care of yourself. So self care is, I'm going to say, awareness, mindfulness,
mhm,
and hmm, awareness, mindfulness, and just health overall,
mm. Oh, health
wellness,
overall.
health. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. What's your advice to folks trying to figure out where they are with their mind, body, soul journey? Just like party
Um,
advice.
uh, I think the my advice would be to I guess start where you are,
Mm, mm.
and know where you want to go with it, you know. And I guess that is it.
That's it. That's it. All right. And then lastly, what is your favorite food right now?
I've been killing salmon lately.
I cannot cook salmon to save my life. I don't
I
know
just got this
if
air
it's the
fryer and I don't know how to act.
so girl, I got a whole air fryer. Do you know I've used that thing 5 times?
I didn't believe in it initially until I went to someone's house and they cooked all their food on the air fryer. And I said, you know what? And it took like 20 minutes. I was like, never will I ever.
I think I've been actually craving some non-heavy meat, like non-red meat recently.
hmm
That's another thing that I've been really doing is paying attention, like what do I really want to eat and really eating that instead of
Because
you go ahead. No, go ahead.
people don't realize food make you feel good. So you got to eat feel good food.
Yeah,
I think Whole Foods were called the feel good food or something like that. Like they call themselves that.
yeah.
I remember telling my mom, like, I would go certain places and I'd be like, oh my God, I felt so good once I ate their food. It's like feel good food. And people think soul
Mm-hmm.
food is good. Soul food is good for your
It is.
soul, but it weighs you down. Feel
Yeah,
good food, it brings you up. And I
yeah,
think that's what food is supposed to do. You're supposed to still have energy once you eat. It's supposed to give you nutrients and things like that.
yeah,
So
yeah.
there's a difference. So
Word, word.
yeah.
Okay, so tell all the folks where they can find you
Um
if you want.
mm, I'm at personal at tayo.shade, tayo.sade.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in home care, not in home care. I'm sorry. Selfish self care will be selfish self care wellness. Um,
Yes.
on IG.
Yes. And when do you go live on IG for that show?
It'll be all July on Wednesday. The whole
Hmm.
month of July every Wednesday. We'll just be talking about just self care in general. In
Okay.
many ways. So yeah.
Well, I'm gonna be on your show soon.
Oh yes, and that is
Next
a
week.
hot topic.
I'm
Andrea's
excited.
gonna come on.
I'm super excited. Super excited. All right. Well, that wraps up the show, you guys. Thank you so much for listening and hearing us just banter back and forth. I mean, we had a pre-call, honey, and we almost like had a whole podcast then. So, but I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time. I know we're all busy and zoomed out, and so take care of
Oh, no, no,
yourselves.
no. Yeah, I get it.
Listen, if I get on another Zoom call that I didn't need to be on, I'm going to scream. But remind you, just a quick reminder, y'all, please, please, please take care of yourselves and get some damn rest. Don't let these people run you in the ground. Get some rest. That don't always mean sleeping.
Exactly.
Sometimes it's just being at home, not doing nothing, enjoying your space. And with
Resting.
that, go ahead.
I
What'd
said
you say?
resting with ease.
Yes, because good things can come easy.
That's it.
All right, y'all. It has been real. We will see you later. Bye.
Right.